It seems like it's finally time that Diddy faces the consequences of all the horrible things that he has been doing over the course of his career.
In the middle of a lot of drama that everyone is talking about, Diddy Combs is getting a lot of attention once more. This time, it's because there's a big investigation by the government happening at his fancy houses all over the country. People are hearing about raids by Homeland Security, which has both fans and people who don't like him wondering about every single thing he does. And in all this mess, a scary question pops up. Did Diddy keep Kim Porter quiet to save his big business? As more details come out, people are starting to talk about the bad things Diddy might have done before. It's making people think he might have used his power in bad ways, like not treating Kim Porter right, being unfaithful to her, and trying to control her. These stories make people wonder if something really bad happened to her, especially now that federal agents are checking out his houses. The music boss, who used to seem like he could do anything, is now being looked at very closely. Even though Diddy's team says none of this is true, a lot of people are still really suspicious. There are all kinds of rumors and big accusations, and what really happened to Kim Porter is still a big mystery. We're going to look really closely at this whole mess, trying to find out what's true in the complicated story about one of the biggest names in music. To really get what's going on, we need to look back at the relationship between Kim Porter and Diddy. Their relationship had a lot of ups and downs, love, problems, and big impacts on both their lives and the story of what happened to Porter.
Kim Porter says she dumped Diddy.
I feel like
In a statement to the TV show The Insider, she says she decided to end what she calls her on-again, off-again relationship.
Through the entire entertainment industry, Diddy has been the subject of LGBTQ rumors despite his widely publicized fake relationships.
Started dating in the 90s, which was a time of both great success and big personal challenges for them. They had a son named Christian Casey in 1998, but their relationship had problems. After they broke up in 1999, they had to deal with court stuff about child support. When Diddy started dating Jennifer Lopez, it made things even more complicated, leading to a lot of breaking up and getting back together. In 2003, it seemed like they fixed their relationship and had twin daughters, Delilah Starr and Jessie James. But their happiness didn't last because problems started showing up. Porter didn't want to marry Diddy, which she talked about in an interview, showing there were promises that weren't kept, and tension that led to their breakup in 2007. The end of their relationship was really clear when Porter decided to leave Diddy for good. She even took the kitchen table with her stuff when he was out of town, showing she was done with being just a small part of his big, complicated life. This move, as Porter said herself, showed she was strong and didn't want to be just an extra in Diddy's world. But the biggest problem was when Diddy was unfaithful to her while she was pregnant with their twins. Porter was really upset but stayed strong. She faced Diddy bravely, showing she respected herself too much to let it go. This showed everyone how strong and independent she was. After they broke up, Porter and Diddy kept a complicated but strong connection. They both really cared about being good parents to their kids, even though breaking up hurt a lot. They found a way to be happy by focusing on being great parents. Even when things got tough, their love and respect for each other helped them work together. Right before Porter sadly passed away, she and Diddy seemed to be getting along really well.
So for those of you who live under a rock, there's always been a lot of mystery surrounding the death of Kim Porter. She was announced to be dead because of pneumonia, but fans just couldn't wrap their hands around that. Fans just knew something was fishy about the whole thing.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's...
They both worked hard to keep their family happy, like celebrating birthdays and being there for their kids. They showed that even though they weren't together anymore, they could still be a united family. But even with all the happy moments, there were still some hard feelings and problems that didn't go away. Some people thought Diddy's past mistakes made things complicated and made people wonder about what really happened to Porter. The story of how Porter died is really sad. On the night of November 14th, she went to bed not feeling well, with a bad sore throat and a high fever. She was trying to feel better by resting and getting a massage. After saying goodnight to everyone, she went to sleep. But tragically, she didn't wake up the next morning. Her goddaughter found her and thought she was still sleeping, but later everyone realized something was very wrong and they called for help. The doctor said she died because of a serious lung infection called lobar pneumonia. It was a big shock to everyone who knew her. After she died, a lot of people, including famous people and fans, said how much they would miss her. Diddy, the father of her kids, was really sad and said he would never forget her. But even though Diddy seemed very sad on social media, some people wondered if he was really feeling that way or just trying to look a certain way online. Some people, and even those close to Kim, had doubts about whether his sadness was real. Some people started to think that Diddy showing a lot of sadness in public wasn't really how he felt inside. They wondered if his actions were just for show, which made them question how close he and Porter really were before she passed away. Even though Diddy kept saying how much he loved Porter and missed her, some people weren't sure if he was truly heartbroken. Friends of the couple thought there might have been problems and secrets they didn't talk about, making their relationship seem more complicated than what everyone else saw. As the first year without Porter came around, Diddy's posts on social media made people remember how much he said he was hurting. But with all the nice words and memories he shared, some still felt unsure. They asked themselves if Diddy was really sad about losing Kim Porter, or if he was hiding something. The story took another turn when new information came out, making people even more suspicious of Diddy. There were rumors and stories from people who knew them, talking about how Porter might have been treated badly and watched all the time before she died. Making things even more dramatic was Kim Porter's ex, Al B. Sure, who went online to share his doubts about what really happened to her. Al B. Sure put up a post, which he later took down, where he seemed to think Porter was hurt on purpose, not just sick. He said, "I just found this video from when I heard about Kim Porter's passing, and it felt like I lost a part of myself. I'm sure Kimberly didn't die from pneumonia like they say." His words made people think there was more to the story of how Porter died. So, talk about a book Porter might have been planning to write also stirred up more gossip. This book was supposed to tell all of Diddy's secrets, which could ruin his reputation. People guessed that maybe Porter knew things that could damage Diddy's image or business, and they wondered if that had something to do with her death. As the investigation went on, the focus on Diddy grew, with more and more questions about what he knew and his role in the sad events leading up to Porter's death. Jean Deal, who used to work as a bodyguard for Diddy, and rapper Mark Curry have come out with some really shocking stories about how Diddy and Kim Porter's relationship was pretty troubled. They talked about some really serious stuff, including times when things got violent. Deal mentioned a really intense moment when things got so bad between Diddy and Porter that Porter had to defend herself, and she ended up hurting Diddy. This happened at her house, showing how serious their fights could get. This story is a really sad reminder of how bad things were between them. Mark Curry brought up more alarming stuff about Diddy. He said he saw Diddy treat Porter really badly, including a time when he hurt her so badly that her nose was broken. Curry also said that Diddy tried to control everything Porter did, even going as far as to tap her phone so he could listen to her talks with other people. Hearing all this really shows a side of Diddy that's very different from what most people see in public. With such serious claims coming out, it's really important for the police and other officials to look into what happened to Kim Porter in more detail. The things being said about Diddy are pretty big, and if they're true, it's crucial to find out the whole truth and make sure justice is done for Porter and those who cared about her. So, what do you guys think about all these claims against Diddy? Do you think there's more to the story of what happened to Kim Porter? Let's talk about it. Your thoughts are really important, and this story is still developing. So there's more to come.